But if a woman puts resistance against you and you collapse emotionally, she is going to lose attraction for you. Your tonality changes, your energy shifts, you collapse into tightness. You try to say something that gets her approval, your voice goes up at the end, bam, she knows she got to you. So remember, boys, when a girl tests you, it is her seeing if you're a high value guy. And she's probably doing this, by the way, because there's a little bit of attraction for you.
The Unapologetic Man Podcast.
What is up, you champions? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the UMP. I super appreciate you joining me. And if this is your first time, welcome. My name is Mark Singh, and I'm your vibe captain for today. I am an NLP dating coach for men. NLP stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. I go into the heads of my clients, remap belief systems, traumas, meta programs, and make them feel like a fucking alpha, because this is point one in this episode. If you go up to a woman and you are seeking validation, meaning seeking for her to approve of you, you feel like you're the one submitting the application and she feels it from you too, she is going to lose attraction for you. And this happens with so many guys where they inadvertently turn her into the prize, feel like they have to chase her, or worse yet, prove themselves to her, and she loses attraction for them. So one of the biggest mistakes that men make is that they are seeking validation. They are seeking her approval. And even if they hear some of my episodes and they're like, all right, dude, I can't go up thinking that she's better than me. I have to feel like she's the one submitting the application. Unless you really believe it in your head, you are going to telegraph in little micro expressions, in little nerd mannerisms, in little needy movements that you need for her to validate you. This will immediately burn her attraction for you because a high value guy has options. She needs to feel from you that you have options and you're not her only option. This is literally written into her DNA. She wants a guy who can get other girls because a guy who can get other girls has high survivability. He has highly attractive attributes. It has been proven because other girls like him, so she can feel attracted to him naturally without worrying that he's a fucking beta cuck. Now, why does your survivability matter? Because women want you to be able to pass on genes to their children that too will give them survivability. So a high value guy has many options. When he talks to a woman, he telegraphs that he has options and he is not seeking validation. Truly, guys, you need to not give a literal shit if she gets attracted to you. If you haven't achieved that yet, it's all in your head, brother. You need to feel so high value, so high worth that you literally believe, I am going up to this girl to see if she's good enough. Not to prove if I'm good enough, to see if she's good enough. And when you have that vibe, when you have that belief system, it's telegraphed in your body language, in your tonality, and just the way you communicate with her. So if you're not having good luck with women, this might be the reason. You don't feel like you're enough. You feel that hot girls are above you or too good for you, out of your league. So you sub-communicate low-value nerd mannerisms, and then they lose attraction for you. Now, before I get into numbers 2 through 5, I want you to stay until the end because you guys know what I like to do, or maybe you don't if this is your first time listening. I like to hold the best one until the last one, and you really need to stay until the end because the last one is the most important one that you don't want to do, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are doing it, so make sure to stay tuned until the end. The second way men accidentally destroy attraction is by asking logical questions, speaking in a logical way, or going into what we call interview mode. Have you ever gone into interview mode? Oh, where do you live? Where did you go to school? Do you like weather? Are you happy to be alive and like breathing? How's that going for you so far, dude? And she's like, it's great. See you later. And she walks off, her perfect little ass, parting the Red Seas through the bar. And you're just like, God damn it. And you go home, masturbate with the helmet on as you hit your head against the wall in a puddle of your own tears. Do not go logical with chicks in the first conversation. What you need to do in the first conversation is elicit emotions. I've done plenty of episodes about this, and I'm going to give you one right now that I want you guys to listen to immediately after you listen to this one. It's episode 572, my all-time favorite attraction building Gambit, the 3-part answer framework to her boring questions. So we understand that when we speak to women, they're going to ask you boring questions because that's what they're used to. Where do you live? Where did you go to school? What do you do for a living? And what we do is we plan our answers in a fun and interesting way so that it makes her laugh and gets her into her emotions. Because the second biggest way that men destroy attraction is by getting too logical, going into interview mode, being fucking boring. This also includes talking about shit that doesn't elicit emotions. Things such as politics, religion, her viewpoint on Roe versus Wade. Are you pro-choice or pro-life? What are your pronouns? Dude, skip all that shit. We don't want to talk to her about logical topics. We don't want to interview her. We want to elicit emotions. And what I've done for you is I've left a link to that podcast below. Liam, my amazing, spectacular, stupendous podcast editor, is going to leave a link for you in the description below. If you're on Spotify, it's going to go to the Spotify episode. If you're on YouTube, it'll go to the YouTube episode. And if you're on any of the other apps, it'll go to the requisite app where you can listen to it. Boys, do not sleep on this. I'm not going to get into how to do this because I want you to listen to it. It is some funny shit. It's going to elicit emotions. And I'll tell you what, the episode immediately after is how to ask girls questions that elicit emotions, attraction, connection, and rapport. So you might want to listen to that one too. If you're guilty of not knowing what to talk about, going into interview mode, and being boring as watching paint dry, and if you don't want to get a girl that I'm going to rename Trailer Swift or Tweaker Bell, then you would be wise to listen to this episode. If you don't listen to it, then you truly are more stupid than a suitcase full of buttholes. The next one, boys, number 3, is communicating neediness through tiny behaviors. Now, number 1 was seeking validation, and validation is needing her to approve of you, needing her to like you. But number 3 is neediness. What is neediness? It's needing for her to act in a certain way so that you can feel good about the interaction. Neediness is texting back too quickly. Neediness is agreeing with everything that she says. Neediness is not wanting to be disagreeable because you don't want to chase her away. Neediness is chasing her attention and over-investing too early. For example, you get a guy who's needy. He's not very good with women. So what does he do? He goes up seeking validation. And of course, that's only going to work with a girl who looks like a mountain troll or a girl that fell out of the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down. But he goes in seeking validation, right? He wants to be approved of. Okay, she approves of him. Never going to happen with a hot girl, but let's say it happens. Then he's texting with her and he's over investing. He's like really trying hard. His texts are really long. He's immediately shooting back text messages when she texts him. He's over investing, asking her to be his girlfriend when he's only known her for a couple days, a couple weeks, or in my opinion, if you do it less than a couple months, that's neediness right there. He needs for her to validate him because he doesn't feel like enough within himself. He feels like he's low value. Maybe he's short, fat, ugly, bald, looks like a chicken McNugget with tits. Whatever his reasoning is, he doesn't feel like he's enough. This is why, once again, boys, in my program, I use NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. Let me give you a quick snapshot of just how powerful this is. I have a client named Brian G. Brian G is 5'3", and in his own words, pasty white hobbit from the Lord of the Rings. This is the way this guy looks. I don't think he looks that bad, but he does, and he used to be insecure about it. Comes into the program, and this is what he says, and he's only in week 11. Think about this, boys. 11 weeks later, this is how he feels. I'm on week 11 of the program, Brian says, and my ability to talk to any hot girl and see her get attracted has 10x'd. And this is coming from a 5'3" pasty white hobbit from the Lord of the Rings books. If I can do it under this program, then you better be able to do it too, or you really do suck, says Brian. So Brian, thank you very much for that. Boys, I have screenshot after screenshot of review after review after review. It's fucking insane. Make sure you stay until the end because you're going to want to hear the 5th one. But for now, here's a word from our sponsor. Are you so horny you'd fuck a snake if you could hold it straight? Have you ever gone to Walmart and bought a papaya, a power drill, and a tub of Vaseline? Is your dick so dry it's gonna audition for the next movie of Dune? Or are you able to get girls sometimes, but they're not up to the level that you really want? My name is Mark Singh, and I use neuro-linguistic programming to hypnotize my clients and give them the kind of confidence and self-belief that attracts women on autopilot. I have unlocked something truly extraordinary, never before experienced in the dating space. My mix of neuro-linguistic programming paired with my 15 years of tactical genius in the field has allowed me to achieve a staggering 95% client success rate. Stop what you're doing and really think about that for a second. 95% of my clients who come into my program 10x the results with women in just 3 months. Success after success after success after success. I've been to so many weddings, I can't even remember where I am half the time. In fact, I'm so confident in my coaching, I have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. No other dating program goes to the depth that I do when it comes to your psychology. I remap belief systems, install massive confidence, and turn average men into girl magnets. Here's the truth, you fucking sea donkey. You don't need another podcast or more reels on IG. You need a deep cognitive level transformation, not just more information. I don't want your girlfriend to look like a waitress on an oil rig. I want your girlfriend to cure erectile dysfunction just by walking into a room. I will guarantee to 10x your results with women in just 3 months. So sign up today and save that poor snake the embarrassment. Brought to you by the League for Reptile and Papaya Rights. And if you're listening on audio, I highly suggest you watch the video. It's some funny shit. And it shows picture after picture after picture of all my guys getting success with really beautiful women. What we do works. I'm not lying, boys. I have a 95% success rate. Why you haven't applied yet is beyond me. So the fourth biggest way that men turn women off and destroy attraction is becoming too safe, predictable, and friendly, right? Over agreeable, agreeing with everything that she says, over investing, leaning in, touching her, laughing at jokes that aren't funny, being predictable in the way that, oh, he's going to text on this day, being predictable in the way that you leave zero mystery, being predictable in the way that, oh, he's going to do this date again, oh, he's going to try to kiss me at the door. Being a fucking boring nice guy will get you blown out so hard. That's right. When the concussion hits, it's going to blow the mustache off your best friend's face. Or worse yet, when the concussion hits, your balls are going to fly up and hit the brim of your hat because you're too fucking predictable. You're too safe. You're ultra polite. You're overly agreeable. You're too careful, too platonic, and you're emotionally flat. In my program, but also a little bit in my podcast, you could search for it. I teach you how to be a mystery. I teach you how to build intrigue. For example, there's so many good things about you and just one bad. A nice guy would never say that because he doesn't want to be a little bit disagreeable. Or, do you like to travel? And she says yes, and you push her and you say, travel over there. These are the kinds of things that bad boys do. And when you mix it with emotional highs, when you mix it with awesome stories and answering questions in a funny way, when you mix it with stories that show you've persevered through adversity and you can be warm and most importantly, trusted by her, you will be able to flip attraction hot switches in her head and get her attracted to you on command. So being too platonic, being too nice, afraid to disagree with her, huge red flag, kills attraction in women. And number 5, boys, is centered around the most important thing of seduction. Do you know what it is? That's right. You're a smart motherfucker. It's frame control. Frame control is the single most important element of seduction. If you don't know what it is, or if you haven't mastered it completely yet, where you know it backwards and forwards, where a girl can throw some shit at you and you can reverse it on her without even thinking, then you need more work, because frame control is so important. And this goes into frame control. When she gives you small little resistances and you collapse emotionally, thus changing your behavior slightly, and she picks up on that, it will kill her attraction. For example, she's like, oh, why do you work that job? And you have a little bit of a reaction. Even some of you guys who know about frame control, you can fuck this up. You have a little bit of a reaction where you're like, well, it's not that bad of a job. You know, I went to college for 4 years and I think it's pretty good. Like, why don't you think that's a good job? Instead of saying something funny such as, and this is what Brian might say, who's 5'3", he's like, yeah, I'm working that job because my dream of becoming a horse jockey just didn't pan out. I was just 2 inches too tall to be a horse jockey. So unfortunately, I had to work that job, which is frame control. It's called agree and amplify. Again, if you don't know it, you really need to study it. But if a woman puts resistance against you and you collapse emotionally, she is going to lose attraction for you. Your tonality changes. Your energy shifts. You collapse into tightness. You try to say something that gets her approval. Your voice goes up at the end. Bam, she knows she got to you. Women are going to test your frame to see if, once again, as I explained in the beginning of the episode, you are a high value guy and you have high survivability. So they're going to throw these tests at you to see if you can pass them. If you collapse under that emotional pressure and telegraph that in your tonality and body language, she will unconsciously lose attraction for you. So remember, boys, when a girl tests you, it is her seeing if you're a high value guy. And she's probably doing this, by the way, because there's a little bit of attraction for you. She wouldn't do it unless she thought you were some schmohawk who picks lint out of his belly button while on the weekends gaming all day and wasting his fucking life. She thinks you have a chance with her, so she's going to test you. She's going to say little things. She's going to ask you for little favors, throw little challenges at you, or answer your question in a way that's short, turn her body language away, whatever it is. If you react negatively to that and start over-investing, start chasing, and this is one of the micro mannerisms that guys do that kill attraction. All right, boys, let's go over them again. Number 1, seeking validation or approval when you approach her. Number 2, going into interview mode, asking her boring questions, boring her to tears, and no, her tears will not be used as lubricant for sex. Number 3, being needy, over-investing, over-chasing, trying to commit too early, trying to bring her into an outcome that you hope will manifest. Number 4, becoming too safe, too predictable, too friendly. She doesn't want a lapdog. She wants a fucking man. And number 5, boys, the most important one, emotionally collapsing under her little resistances, where she puts little frame checks on you and you collapse underneath it. All right, gentlemen, once again, go listen to that episode. I have a link below to it. How to answer her boring questions in a fun way. Believe me, boys, you do not want to miss this one. And finally, guys, if you've heard enough of my content, if you've seen all the evidence and you're convinced that I can help you, just as I've helped literally over 5,000 men 10x their results with women within 3 months, apply to my 3-month coaching program below and you and I will talk. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. I drop podcasts every Tuesday, so please stay tuned for the next one, and I will see you in the next episode. What is up, brother? Just wanted to thank you sincerely for watching this episode. If you've gotten any value whatsoever out of my content, the single best way to help me is to like, comment, subscribe, leave me a review. You have no idea how much that helps me. Also, if you're struggling with women and you want to talk to me personally about how I can help you achieve your goals with women, sign up for my 3-month coaching program below and you and I will talk. Join us in the Unapologetic Army.